Alright, so, my process for my BFA so far. I guess I should just begin with where my ideas came from. This is the list. Well, one of 3 pages of it. And even this list isn't complete. This was only partial. I started this at the beginning of the summer to try to get my ideas down and try to get things going. Because what do I do as an artist? I do a lot of different things. I mean, that's kind of the point of my major, is that I can do a bunch of different things and call it time digital arts. And that still doesn't necessarily express all that I do, but it comes close, really. So I can do pretty much anything, which is great, and it leaves things open for me to be able to explore creatively. But it also means that I don't necessarily have a fixed direction that I need to go in with my BFA. But as a time major, what do I make? Well, that depends on what media I gravitate toward. I gravitate towards a lot of stuff. With my passion for music, my passion for telling stories, and my passion for photography and film. Where does that leave me in the process of what do I do for my BFA? Well, I can start with a concept, or I can start with the medium. And I decided to start with the medium because I didn't really have a concept. I mean, I had so many concepts. I have this many pages of concepts and ideas, and we'll get to that, but I wanted to start with the medium because I found that to be the easiest way to narrow down what I wanted to do. So I pretty much figured I would be working with video at some point with this. I've narrowed it down to, right now I'm sticking with film because I need to focus on something. So we're going to start with film, and if I have to change it, we'll change it from there. But I'm leaving it open in an installative context. Anyways, my ideas. So, this is what I started off with freshman year. It was the idea of making a haunted house, because it is an installation. It's an interactive installation that you have to walk through. We're more than a quarter of the way through our year, and I'm pretty sure everybody already has a concept and or they're trying to figure out what they're doing on their own. So that's not really an option anymore. So we crossed that off the list. The next idea came from a road trip that I took with my dad. I was like, well, what about the experience of driving in a car, you know, and the way that images move past your windows? Is that the way that we really associate time, or is it the way that we associate distance, or is it both? But that's boring, so we're moving on. Next idea came from my mother has borderline personality disorder, and how I'm fascinated by psychology as well. So that's already, psychology is an aspect of my thesis because I'm fascinated with it, and because I'm fascinated with the way that people perceive not only film but also certain narratives on film and certain narrative functions on film. So that's already part of my thesis. Someone suggested Danger Time. Like Adventure Time, but more dangerous. And if you've ever watched Adventure Time, it's kind of hard to do because it's fucked up to begin with. I also wanted to make myself a YouTube star at some point. You know, kind of like take the notion of celebrity and run completely wild with it. I was thinking maybe character acting. Kind of like taking Sarah's Little Miss Cleveland idea and running wild with it in my own direction. Then of course I got into the series of video and film things that I could do. Like, what if I did a documentary short on bullying or mental illness, or gender awareness, or even something like lucid dreaming. If I did a music video where I write the music and then do the visuals to it. A fictional narrative. I took a spies class last year, and I'm fascinated with spy stories and mysteries and horror movies and just adventure movies and everything like that. Like that, that's one of my favorite genres, is the mystery, spy, kind of figure it out as you go along kind of thing. I love to be able to figure out the plot before it's revealed in the story. Then we're going back to the YouTube idea of what if I did a series of short videos written into sound. So what if I wrote an EP and did the visuals for it, and the promotional materials with it. And I still intend to do sound with my BFA, but that's about it. What if I designed a clothing line? What if I made an interactive game in real life? Which I found out later is called an ARG, an alternate reality game, which is fascinating but takes a lot more time than I really have to be able to set it up. And there are other questions, like what if I do a performance? What if I do something in a 2D format? What if I make a book? Blah blah blah. And now we have the message page. What is my message? And how do I want to execute it? Well, I still haven't figured that out, so